1, 2, test. Can you hear me back there okay? Yes? Good. Okay, very good. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Missed you guys last week, but I did see some of you at the concert. That was wonderful. So unfortunately, but some people didn't. That was great. Well, I just want to say I am so happy to be back with my spiritual family again. Another beautiful Sunday. Feel so blessed just being here a little early and not having to put up a bunch of equipment and just talking to some of you out there. And it's just such a blessing to learn just little things from each one of you. It's such a blessing to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. So having said that, we're going to do our little centering song, okay? And that serves a lot of purpose, actually. It just helps us center ourselves, helps us settle down, helps our nervous system relax. So please, why don't we go within? If you'd like, close your eyes and relax your shoulders. And I'm going to play a little bit of music just for this special experience.
while remaining in a beautiful state of consciousness and a beautiful centering song. I know there is one power and one presence, one creator, one divine intelligence, one all and everything, which I choose to call God. For it is that power which has created all that there is. It's that same power which knows how to maintain and sustain all and everything. There's that one presence which is surely the life and the light and the love of God flowing in, around, and through each and every one of us. There is one creator and one creation. And there is that one divine intelligence which always, always, always knows what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And I know that the one is endowed with all the divine qualities of God, of justice and freedom and life and light and love and peace and joy, happiness, harmony, balance and beauty, divine wisdom, wholeness, and abundance in all and everything. And I know that I, being spiritually created in the image and likeness of the one, that I too am endowed with all those same divine qualities. And as I know this to be true for myself, I know this to be true for each and every person within the sound of my voice and beyond. And I know and declare that today's service flows with grace and ease. That the beautiful music provided by Joe and Diego soothes and relaxes each and every one of us. And the talk given by Reverend Neil resonates deeply within the heart, soul, mind, and body of each and every one of us. And I call it all good because it is all God. And God is goodness itself. So I simply allow it to be as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, both to Diego and to our practitioner, Jim Willis. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of came in here this morning with my hair on fire, like racing in at the last minute, and now I feel like I'm here. So thank you both very much for that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see some people coming in, finding seats. Woo, looks exciting. We're really glad you're here on this Sunday morning with us, whether you are here in person or whether you are watching online. Hello to our online community. I'm not going to do the Jaws thing. I know Shara does the Jaws thing. I know it's not happening. I'm actually catching up a little bit because I think my little order of service is a little bit out of order, so I'm learning on the fly. But it's lovely to have you here. We are a teaching center. If this is your first time here, we are based in the philosophy of Ernest Holmes, the science of mind and spirit, and we're so thrilled to have you, and we hope that this feeds you this morning, whether or not this is your home. And I'm just going to welcome Jim Willis back up to do our spiritual reading for the day after that beautiful invocation. And all right, see you in a minute.
Well, good morning again. I found a little something that I think might resonate with the primary talk from the book called Wholehearted Living, written by Dr. Reverend Christian Sorensen and Dr. Reverend Catherine Economo. Anyway, I found this reading, and it certainly resonated with me. So, if we take a deep breath again, and I ask you all to believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitation are those you put upon yourself. Living a wholehearted life means letting go of the limitations we place upon ourselves and opening the windows of our consciousness to embrace the beauty of infinite possibilities for our lives. Now, to do this, we are called to release the judgments we hold on ourselves, our lives, and everyone around us. This is because when we judge something, we lock it into a limited perspective, and we use our creative energy to keep ourselves and those we judge tethered to that limitation. But no one is actually limited because there is always possibility and potential around us. We can support the expression of that possibility through our recognition of our life as divine. You can move from limitation to possibility through connecting with the divine presence that lives at the center of your being. Through prayer, gratitude, and spiritual mind treatment, we can lift perspective, open our awareness, and begin to see new possibilities where we once saw limitations. For deep below your egoic mind, that's ego somehow, below your personality and the story of how you got to be who you are, lives your pure essence. This is the place where you and God connect and commune. When you practice connecting with this presence on a regular basis, you will receive wisdom and become more open to impressions and inspiration that will guide you out of limitations and into the possibility that is waiting for you. So, here's your homework for today. Thought you'd get out of here not getting any. Take some time in silence today and just breathe. In your mind's eye, we see yourself journeying down below your ego, personality, and story to that place of connection and peace. Rest in this space for a time and just be. Then notice how your day unfolds after this. Then state, I surrender judgment of myself and open to God's guidance and inspiration. I am free. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. That was great. That was wonderful. That was a great reading. Thanks, Jim. All right. I am back in front of you to introduce our featured artist, Mr. Joe Rathburn, who is here with us once again. We're always so delighted to have him. So thank you for joining us this morning. And I have a little bit of information in case you didn't know. Joe is a lifelong performing musician, songwriter, recording artist, originally from Michigan. I did not know that. Now residing in San Diego. He has released 4 albums of original material and 2 of mixed originals and covers. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm going to get to that part. I was like, wait, I don't see where we can go for that, but I do. It's later. He has been nominated 3 times in the San Diego Music Awards and won Best Traditional Folk Song in the Just Plain Folks Music Award out of a field of 140,000 entries for his song, The Dad I Had. He performs regularly in the greater San Diego area and beyond. And this is what I was looking for a minute ago. You can find more information and those albums we were talking about at www.joerathburn.com. Thank you so much for being here, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be here. My home away from home. As you can see on the screen, this song is called Windows. That has nothing to do with Bill Gates. And it shouldn't crash in the middle either. Here I am inside my house, walls around me, feeling cozy, being quiet as a mouse to keep the world away. I don't go out, it's too crazy. Please don't make me, please don't make me. So I waste another day. Hey, hey, hey. Through these windows, think I could fly like a bird. Through these windows, I hear a voice and I hang on every word. So here I am inside my car, rolling down the road to somewhere. Could be near, could be far. I can't say. I don't even know who's driving. Could be me or that voice out there. Both will help me find my way. Hey, hey, hey. Through these windows, I feel the wind on my face. Through these windows, I see all these signs telling me this ain't a race. Inside my head, looking at you, looking at me, I see some fear and dread keeping us apart. But through that wall, I see an answer. It's coming up just like a sunrise. It's just a smile, but it's a start. Hey, hey, hey. Through these windows, we could throw our shackles away. Through these windows, we can see the light from a new and brighter day. Through these windows, you could see my soul if you tried. And through these windows, I can see yours too, and then we'll see things eye to eye. Through these windows, through these windows, through these windows. Thank you.
That was so good, wasn't it? Oh gosh. Okay, you know what? I don't know why, but I'm feeling really sentimental this morning. And I was thinking earlier up here, and I thought this went so beautifully with your song, Joe, that I was sitting here thinking that this is actually one of my favorite places to stand in this room because I can see so many people that I love so much. And it's just really wonderful. Like, I wish everybody had this opportunity. And so before we move on to the talk, because I'm feeling a little sentimental, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take a look at someone sitting next to you and say to them, I see you. I'm so glad you're here. And then I want you to find someone else and say it again. I see you guys. I'm so glad all of us are here together. And with that, I am going to turn the microphone over to our very own, we get to say this now, it's never going to get old for me, our very own Reverend Neil Hayner. There's this, and then there's the head.
I was telling Joe, that's one of those things that it really depends on your tone of voice, because with my third graders, I always look at them, I see you. Because sometimes they think that I can't see them. I don't know why. All depends on the tone of voice, right? So I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling centered this morning. I feel you run around all week, it's crazy, the news is crazy, the world is crazy, and you come here and you go, okay. So I'm glad to be back with you this morning. I want to start off with something funny. An elderly woman was coming out of a grocery store, and she realized she had locked her keys out of her car. And she was totally stressed out, totally distressed, didn't know what to do. So she bowed her head and she said, Lord, please send me some help. And a few minutes later, this guy on this big Harley motorcycle, wearing a leather jacket and covered in tattoos, pulls up to her and says, ma'am, do you need some help? So she explained her situation. The man reached into his pocket, pulled out a little metal device, and popped open her door within 10 seconds. And the woman was so relieved, she hugged him and said, oh, you must be such a great man. And the man looked a little embarrassed and said, no, ma'am, to be honest, I just got out of prison yesterday for auto theft. The woman didn't miss a beat. She looked up and said, Lord, thank you. You sent me a professional. It all depends on your perspective, right? So something you might not know about me, because I'm still kind of new around here. Prior to my career as a teacher, I spent 7 years working in a regional trauma center, an emergency room, and a psychiatric unit. I had no idea how well that experience was going to prepare me for being a teacher and a minister. Which just goes to show you never know how life is preparing you for the next thing. Because you never know. So with that experience in trauma and drama, spent a lot of time in the emergency room. It was the beginning of my practitioner training, and it helped me to be able to look deeper into what was happening below the surface. In the middle of the busyness of a level 2 trauma center, with accidents and people in crisis, there was also people showing up for each other. There was love and service and teamwork and diversity and compassion, but you had to be able to see it. You had to set the intention to see the good that was happening in the midst of all of that, and you had to be willing to see it. And this was at the same time that I was going through all of my CSL classes and becoming a practitioner. So I learned that if I could shift my point of view just a little bit, I could see good happening, even in the midst of all of that drama. I could focus on the lives saved, the compassion offered, the teamwork, the courage, the quiet acts of grace that were happening right alongside all of the crises. So that experience taught me something I still carry with me today, and that is that appearances are powerful, but more often than not, they're not always the whole story. There's always something more happening. And I think that life is a lot like that. We get too close to a problem. It's like looking at a beautiful painting 6 inches from our face. We see all of the details, but we miss all of the beauty and the order and the pattern. But in our teaching, we have prayer and other spiritual practices that help lift our perspective to see that larger picture, even a little. If we can just see that, if we can just take a step back and see a little bit larger of a perspective, we can begin to see something more. I've been thinking about this because I've had this Alan Watts quote on my mind a lot lately. And he talks about one of the most important things to understand is when you change your level of magnification, you change your point of view. When you change your level of magnification, you change your point of view. You can look at something under a microscope and see one thing. You can look at something with your naked eye and see something else. You can look at something with a telescope and see yet something else. Which way is the right way? They're all right. They're all correct. What you're looking at did not change, but your point of view did. Just like that lady who locked her keys out of the car. Just like I learned how to shift my point of view working in a stressful environment. Now, Alan Watts gives the example of a newspaper photograph. For those of you of a younger persuasion, there used to be these things called newspapers. And if you looked at the pictures in the newspapers really closely, you would notice that they were made of dots, right? And you had to take a step back, and then those dots came together to form an image. And what looked scattered suddenly made sense. Zooming out, you could see the larger pattern. You could see the image. People used to think that the stars were random in the sky. But it turns out there's a pattern to those, too. You just have to be willing to see it. I think that's true of our lives, too. We get too close to the problem. We get too focused on the problems in the world, and all we can see are the dots. The fear, the frustration, the conflict, the uncertainty, the things that did not work, the prayer that has not been answered yet, the diagnosis, the bill, the disappointment. Up close, it can seem scattered and overwhelming. But that's where we learn our prayer and other spiritual practices help us take a step back. So prayer, or more specifically in our philosophy, we like to call it affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment, helps us change our magnification. It helps us move from the surface appearance to a deeper spiritual reality. It helps us remember that what looks like chaos might be a larger pattern that we just can't see. What looks like conflict at one level may be revealed as harmony at a higher point of view. What looks like limitation in one moment may, from a higher point of view, be the very place where possibility is trying to emerge. That does not mean that we don't deny what's happening. I didn't sit in the middle of the emergency room and say, all is well, it's all great, it's all good here. They probably would have kicked me out. But what it does mean is that we do not let appearances have the final word. We don't let appearances have the final word. It means we begin to ask, what else is true here? What pattern might be present? What is trying to emerge that I can't quite see yet? That's why prayer matters. Prayer is not just asking for manifestations and for a different life. Prayer is how we gain a different view of life. It's how we change our magnification. And when our point of view changes, possibility begins to come into focus. There's a story often told in Buddhism about a man who was walking at dusk. And the path in front of him is getting dark. He can't really see everything in front of him. And as he's walking, he sees something in front of him, and it's coiled up. And he starts to get fearful. His heart rate starts pounding. His breath becomes shallow. He thinks, oh, it's a snake. And he stands there imagining, how is he going to get past this snake? What would happen if that snake bit him? And then somebody walks by with a lamp. And with a little bit more light, he sees clearly that it's not a snake at all. It's a rope. Now, the interesting thing about that story is the fear is real. His pounding heart, the tension in his body. But what caused all that suffering was the rope itself. It was not the rope itself. It was the meaning he gave because he had limited sight. He couldn't see what was in front of him, and so he started making all sorts of fearful judgments. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, "The mind must get a degree of conviction of peace greater than the appearance of confusion, broader than the confusion, and rest in that conviction." I'm going to say that again. The mind must get a degree of conviction of peace greater than the appearance of conviction, broader than the confusion, and then rest in that conviction. Our peace has to be greater than the confusion of the world. And that's exactly what prayer begins to do. It does not change the appearance at first, but it helps us be anchored in something that is greater than the appearance. That is why we are called metaphysicians. Meta means alongside or behind. So metaphysics basically means there is something alongside, there is something bigger, alongside or behind the physical thing that we see. There's more than we can see. There's more than we can hear. So we see one moment, one diagnosis, one conflict, one uncertainty, one closed door. And our mind immediately says, oh, snake. This is terrible. This is the end. I'm stuck. That means there's no possibility of good here. And from that point on, we start making decisions based on limitation and fear. We rehearse it, we revisit it, we magnify it. And our minds start working like social media algorithms. The more we click on it, the more we see it. And pretty soon our feed is filling our consciousness. But prayer brings the lamp. Prayer does not always remove the rope immediately, but prayer brings the light. Prayer changes our point of view. Prayer helps us see beyond that first appearance and say, what is actually here? What else is true? What am I calling a snake just because I am standing in low light? Have you ever stood in low light and made judgments about what was in front of you? because you couldn't see all the way? Holmes also wrote that our evolution is the result of an unfolding consciousness of that which already is and needs to be realized to become a fact of everyday life. Our evolution is the result of an unfolding consciousness of what already is. We just have to be willing to see it. We have to just for a moment be willing to shift our perspective. So throughout the years in our teaching, there's been a pattern taught of how to do prayer. And it's not that this is dogma and that you have to do it this way. It's just a framework that we use to teach people how to do this thing that we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And it has 5 steps: recognition, unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. Now, my point this morning is that prayer opens us up to better possibility. It helps us see past the condition. So in that first step, recognition, we recognize that God is all there is, that there is only one life, one intelligence, one love, one presence. It reminds us that there's something bigger than us, bigger than the situation, bigger than the reality, bigger than the appearance. And then we go to step 2, unification, where we remember that we are not separate from that oneness, from that presence. We are not alone on the path, trying to figure out the road in front of us. That same life of wholeness and wisdom and possibility is living its life as us. That's the second part, unification. And then we begin to realize a deeper truth. Maybe the situation is not what the fear said it was. Maybe there is more here than my first reaction allowed me to see. Maybe possibility is present, even in the midst of this situation. Maybe what looked like the end is actually an opening. Maybe what looked like chaos at one magnification is actually order. And so we spend time in that realization, knowing that God is always present, that possibility is always present. And from that place, we enter into gratitude and thanksgiving. Not because everything is solved in that instant, but because light has come. Because we can see more clearly. Gratitude widens our lens. It shifts us from panic into possibility. And then the final step of release. We let go of our fearful interpretation. We stop gripping the appearance as if it was the end of the story. We stay open at the top, and we leave room for Spirit to reveal. That, to me, is the higher point of view. It's not spiritual bypass, it's illumination. It's bringing the light. It's not pretending that the condition was silly or the fear wasn't real, but it's moving us beyond that. Each one of those steps, recognition, it opens us up to a bigger possibility. It says there is more. I love the meditation this morning. It came up all the time. It was like one mind or something. Recognition says there is more. Unification says, I belong to that more. Realization step reminds us that I can live from that more. Thanksgiving says, I can welcome that more. And that release says, I can trust that more. Each one of those steps is designed to open us up to a greater possibility. That is the invitation before us, to let prayer keep lifting our sight and our possibility until it becomes more real than the appearance in front of us. Ernest Holmes said that prayer is the contemplation of life from the highest point of view. The highest point of view. It's one of my favorite Ernest Holmes quotes. It is the contemplation of life from the highest point of view. So maybe the question is, how much time do we spend contemplating what is possible? How much time do we spend contemplating life from the highest point of view? And that's not just a spiritual idea. For me, it's a personal one. I was adopted, raised in a very evangelical and abusive environment, living with cerebral palsy, learning all sorts of things about me today. It would have seemed like my possibilities were limited. But when I was 21, I walked into a Center for Spiritual Living and found out that my past did not limit my possibilities. If you're hearing that for the first time this morning, I want you to embody that. Your past does not limit your possibilities. Principle is not bound by precedent, said Ernest Holmes. And then I worked in an emergency room, the center of trauma and chaos, and learned that possibility is not limited by the appearance. And then I became a practitioner and learned that spiritual practices like affirmative prayer could remind me that if I could just for a moment change how I looked at something, then the thing that I was looking at would change. If we change how we look at things, the things we look at change. Think about that Buddhist guy walking around on the street. He thinks he sees a rope. But when we change how we looked at it and realized it was a rope and realized it wasn't a snake, the thing in front of him changed. Ernest Holmes wrote, "The possibility of everlasting unfoldment, the glorious concept of an eternal emergence in ever-widening circles. It's like that rock you drop in the lake and the rings go out. Rings of possibility." So my invitation for you this week is simple. Pick one area of your life that feels tight, limited, constricted, and spend some time contemplating, imagining, and praying into that possibility. And ask yourself, what might be trying to emerge? What else might be true? What would it mean to meet that part of your life from a higher point of view? If you're having trouble seeing past the appearance or thinking about that possibility, we have some marvelous practitioners, some spiritual coaches that are trained, licensed, and more than willing to help you see the possibility that you're having trouble seeing for yourself. That's their role. So if that's you today, we have some chairs out in the sidewalk. You just go sit in prayer and expand your sense of possibility. That's what they're here for. Because when we do that, we begin to live from a higher point of view. And so it is.
There was this Native American. He was a leader in the American Indian movement. And he lived his days trying to be a thorn in the side of the white man. He did a pretty good job of it, too. You know, he wanted them to see the American Indians as people. And he made a lot of people angry. And one day he encountered this rather large white man who looked down at him with scorn. And this diminutive American Indian leader looked up into the white man's face and he said, "You know, if you don't change your way, you're going to get to where you're going. And so that gave me the idea for this song. I heard that on the radio. And you can be going to a good place or a bad place. And in the song, I use heaven and hell as my metaphors, but you know what I'm talking about. If I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm going. If I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm bound. I might be bound for heaven. I might be headed straight to hell. I might be going just around the block. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Well, if I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm going. Yeah, if I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm bound. You can fool some people sometimes, but yourself you can't deceive. On life's journey, you must face the truth, unless it's walking beside you when you need. Well, if I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm going. If I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm bound. I'm gonna get to where I'm bound. Gonna get to where I'm bound. I might be leaving in the winter. I might be leaving in the spring. I might be gone before the break of dawn. Come on, join me when I sing. If I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm going. If I don't change my way, I'm gonna get to where I'm bound. Well, there might not be a heaven. There probably ain't a hell. But wherever we end up when we quit this life, we're gonna be there quite a spell. Well, if we don't change our way, we're gonna get to where we're going. Yeah, if we don't change our way, we're gonna get to where we're bound. We're gonna get to where we're bound. If we don't change our way, we're gonna get to where we're going. If we don't change our way, we're gonna get to where we're bound. Gonna get to where we're bound. We're 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 gonna get to where we're bound. Thank you very much. And on behalf of my band, The Invisibles, we thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Reverend Neil. That was a really good talk, right, you guys? I felt a little bit called out. Just use my name next time. It's fine. All right, this is the moment of service where we ask you for money. But actually, you know what? I learned something the other day. I did not know all of this. And you know what? Before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to ask our ambassadors to come forward before I forget, because I will. That's just how that goes. Somewhere I know who they are, too. I probably could just look up, but heaven forbid. Linda and Holly. There we go. And Jules. I don't have all my people listed. Okay. I learned recently that, I don't know about you guys. I grew up mostly Episcopalian, which is like Catholic light, okay? Most Christian churches they receive some sort of funding from the upper echelons of the offices, right? So we can buy, I don't know, communion wafers and stuff like that, whatever. What I did not know is that CSL is completely grassroots funded. We don't get extra funding from top down. So everything you see, and seriously, take a minute, please take a minute and look around. We have a space. We have some fantastic audio-visual stuff happening over here. We have lights. We have a youth program. Hi, guys. We're really glad you're here, right? We have Joe Rathburn coming in. We have Diego on weekly. All of this. Look around the room again at each other. I'm not going to make you do the whole ICU thing, but please know that it is because of the people in this room that exists. This is not coming from funding up above. This is coming from the people in this room. So, please know also, there is this beautiful energy of reciprocity, right? We give where we're fed. If this has fed you, wonderful. If you are an auto tither, if you are, for whatever reason, not putting anything in the basket today, I do mine monthly, so I'm right there with you. Just bless it as it comes by. Just take a minute, a second even, to recognize, these are the people in this room. This is us. This is community at its most community-ist, I guess. I don't have a better word for that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And now let's say oh, hold up, wait. There's a slide somewhere, I'll bet. Aha, there we go. Let's say our affirmations together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Little mix up there.
We have announcements coming up with Cecilia. She's on with her right up here, and I'm just going to tell you right now, there's a lot going on. You might just want to get comfortable. We're going to get started. Okay? I'm just saying. Take a deep breath, settle in. Hi.
All right. Very good. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be in front of you. You may know me as the woman in the office who answers your questions and may sell you a book from time to time. I'm also blessed to be a practitioner here. So here we go. Your 2025 charitable giving tax letters are in the office, ready for pickup. CSLTV board thanks you for your continued giving and support of our center, as Marcy just so wonderfully outlined. Let that giving support you in your tax reductions. All right, on May 17th, after we eat a yummy brunch in the social hall, because that's the third Sunday of the month, CSL TV Board of Trustees and Rev Charlene will be hosting the annual meeting. We will gather to review 2025, our successful programs like education, youth and family, financial status, and we will be voting for one board position. To speak more about what it means to be a board member, I'd like to welcome up Susan Cole.
Good morning, everyone. I am in my first year as a board member, and it has opened my eyes so much to what CSL TV really does and the community that we are building here. We started right after the pandemic, I started coming to CSL. We had very few people coming every week. We have grown in hospitality, in attendance, in activities, in love of community. And the board is a big part of making sure that all of that continues to happen and is available for everyone. We have one position open, and we would love anyone that wants to put in a little interest card or let Rev Char know, let Cecilia know that you're interested. And we had, I think 5 of us last time that were applying for the board, and we all gave a speech, and we did a little campaigning. It was a little bit fun. So I encourage you, if you have any interest, we have all kinds of things going on with the board. Our meetings are, usually 1.5 to 2 hours, once a month. So it's not a huge commitment, and then that is by Zoom. And then the rest of the time, we do coordination of the service, we do counting of the funds, and we keep the center running. So please join us if you have any acclamation towards helping on the board. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we are looking forward to celebrating the spring season with Easter Sunday, which is next week, April 5th. We will have a beautiful Easter Sunday with Rev Charlene, Rev Neil, and practitioners. Our dream team will be performing, as well as we'll have a special choir performance and an Easter egg hunt for the kids after service. There's no youth education that day. All are welcome in the sanctuary to celebrate this time together. CSL TV Education is offering the Essential Earnest Homes, which is a 5-week course starting April 14th, being taught by Rev Charlene and co-teachers, practitioners Lorelei Newman and Susie Kussner. This is a beautiful exploration of the foundations of science of mind and the principles from which this teaching philosophy is built. If you're interested in moving into advanced consciousness studies, which is the first step to becoming a practitioner, that class will be offered in the fall. This is the course for you. And even if you're not. Also available online. Reverend Neil is hosting the online version of this course via Zoom. Same dates and times. There's a sign-up sheet on the activities table. The Stained Glass Spirit book study begins April 1st at 6 p.m. on Zoom. Sign-up sheet in the activities table. If you're able to purchase the book prior to the first class and read the first chapter, that's what we'll be discussing. And the Wednesday morning book study has completed their last book and will be on hiatus in April. The CSL TV Hiking Club is hosting a potluck to gather and connect on April 11th. Sign-up information is on the activities table. Today is choir rehearsal after service in the sanctuary for Easter, and then afterwards the Gifts of Spirit will be rehearsing their variety show. The quarterly Divine Wholeness Group Healing Fair will be held on April 26th. Sign up for 20-minute healing sessions at the activities table. And I wanted to talk for a few minutes, couple of minutes about our youth program. You may have noticed the youth being up here with the ambassadors. They were also greeting people today. So it's Youth Sunday. And if you're part of our youth program, would you please wave and just take a look around and see who's here? Thank you. And I also wanted to thank the teachers, Diane Summers, for facilitating the program, and the teachers who make a difference with our children. And just a personal thought about that. My 3 grandchildren went through the entire youth program here. They went to youth camp. As teens, they started as very young people. I know Peg and Jim can also attest to the difference that teaching made a difference in their relationships in the family, made a difference in their relationships in the world. And they've all grown up, at least my grandkids and Peg's kids, to be amazing human beings. So thank you, youth program. And they will be offering a special song at the end of the service. All right, one more announcement. On April 19th at 6:30 p.m., the Interfaith Council of Murrieta and Temecula Valley will present their annual Night of Gratitude and Music. Our very own practitioner, Lorelei Newman, will be speaking on gratitude, and our director of music, Diego, will be providing some of the music at that event. The flyers are on the activity table. It's at Grace Presbyterian Church. I think that's it. Thank you.
Are we ready for the kids?
All right, kids, come on up.
How about the youth coming on up?
All right, where are our short singers? Y'all don't make me sit down and pretend I'm short. It's not going to be pretty. There we go. All right.
Want to give them each a mic, or share a couple of mics here, folks?
Hello, everybody. Let me introduce you to our youth students. We have Callie. We have Ellery. Say hello. We have Briggs. We have Capri. We have, help. Leah, sorry. Sorry. And well, hi. What's your name?
Antonella.
Thank you for coming. I didn't know her. Yeah. So with this little song, I'm just going to run through it for you really easily. We didn't get the words, but it's so easy. This is a song by Ricky Beyer. She is from Agape. She is now Ricky Beyer Beckwith, married to Dr. Reverend Michael Beckwith at Agape. This was one of her very first songs, and it's been in my head for, I don't know how many years. It's very, very easy, and I only sing in the key of C, so it's very easy, and I heard there's only 2 notes to it. So let me run through it with everybody. Joe, you can help me if you can, okay? I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Okay, let's walk down. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Go that way. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me.
All right. Well, if you are a practitioner or minister, I invite you to stand where you are and hold the sanctuary in love and light this morning as we enter into that sacred space of prayer. As we close out our sacred, beautiful, and loving time together this morning, we enter into that consciousness where we are simply reminded that we choose to remember that there is only one power, one presence, one principle, one infinite creative intelligence that is the center of everything and knows everything because it is everything. There is only one power, and there is nothing that can oppose that one power. There is simply spirit, creative intelligence, love, God, order, peace, wisdom, joy, harmony, everything good. And I know that I am one with it. It is who and what I am. I am living and moving and having my being as an expression, as an unfoldment, as a manifestation of that one, and so are you. So, knowing that is true, I know that I can speak my word for myself and each person within the sound of my voice this morning, knowing that there is the possibility of love, the possibility of joy, the possibility of wisdom. And wherever there feels like limitation or lack or constriction, I know it simply dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came. I know that it is not necessary. It is simply an appearance. And so I bring the light and simply know the truth of love, of peace, of joy, of harmony for ourselves, for our community, and at a deep level for our world. I know that peace is possible, joy is possible, wisdom is possible, and it is living and moving and having its being in our world right now. I hold that possibility. I embody it. I believe it, and I declare it to be so. And in great gratitude, I simply release this word into that infinite law that always says yes. And I know that I am heard simply because I am loved. And so I know the truth, and I let it be, and so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. We now walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and now, with every step I make this my Jerusalem vow to take